Hi, I'm Kim Richardson, and I help you organize and plan your genealogy research so that you can break through those barriers and solve brick wall problems. Today, we want to talk about what do you do when you find inaccuracies in records or errors in records, mistakes? How do you handle that? First of all, you probably wonder when you find the record, you're just sitting there going, wait a minute, is this right? Because it's a historical record and maybe it's an official record, but it doesn't say what you think it should, or it doesn't reflect the information that you thought you would find. And so it can be a little confusing. You're just wondering, is this even right? Is this accurate? Well, let's go through some tips and tricks to see if it is accurate or if it's right, and then how to handle it as you go through the process. First of all, be skeptical. It's okay to be skeptical. And actually, it'll make you a better researcher if you do approach nearly everything with a little bit of skepticism, because that's going to help you filter through the records as you research and help you gain only good information. You're not just automatically accepting what you find as true fact. You're looking at it and analyzing it and thinking about it so that you can make sure that it is accurate information, that it is good information. So make sure that you are skeptical. Go through there and really question things, compare and contrast, especially if you have conflicting information somewhere else. Then you can go through and try to find other pieces of evidence, other pieces of the puzzle that support or denounce whatever that information is. You want to see if you can find something else that says the same thing that you think might be an error. So you want to go through and look for official records, birth certificates, death certificates, census records, even newspaper articles. And what you're looking for is something else that will support what it was on that document that you thought might be an error or might be a mistake. And if you find two or three things that agree with that information or say the same thing as what you thought might be an error, then it's a pretty good indication that it's not an error. However, if you find a bunch of conflicts, then it could indicate that maybe it is an error. Understanding the context of the research that you're doing is hugely helpful anytime you're researching, but particularly when you encounter something that you think might be a mistake. If you will just stop and go back and sort of zoom out and begin to research the community in which your ancestor lived, the area where they lived, the time frame they lived, it can help you start to understand what was going on there at the time that the record is that you're trying to examine. And what you can find is what languages, what certain words meant, or maybe some peculiarities of the way that the records were created, or some events at the time, the culture at the time, the social norms of the time. And that can help you understand whether what you're seeing in that record that you had a question about, is that really abnormal, or is that perfectly normal and it goes along with everything else you're finding? And all of a sudden it makes sense as to why they said it the way they did, or as to why the information was recorded the way that it was. And then finally, after you do all of that, just sort of realize that, hey, mistakes happen and we're only human. We all mess things up. And at some point, things just get messed up. Maybe there's a typo, or someone transcribed something incorrectly, or they misinterpreted what was going on and they wrote down the wrong thing. And so when you go through those first three steps and then you still see the thing that's an oddity or what you think might be an error, it could really just be an honest mistake. And so evaluate all of that, go through, logic it out, and see what you think at the end of that entire process. And that'll help you to know whether what you're seeing really is an error or a mistake, or if there's more to it, if maybe what you're seeing is accurate. And so you need to move forward with the research. If you want to know how I do research or what walks me through doing good research, check out the Brickwall Buster cards at brickwallbustercards.com. This toolkit helps you organize your projects. It helps you find new connections, new relationships. You find more clues, which helps you solve more mysteries and discover more answers. Hey, please hit that like button down below. It helps more than you can know, and I really appreciate it. Thanks for watching.